Welcome to the video tutorial on using chroma key on WeVideo, or as it's more commonly referred to as green screen, the green screen technique. The starting place is you want your background, and we've gone through how to make a background, but this will be a review. We typically use Sumo Paint, but I'm going to show you on Pixlr, just for something different. Create a new image. And after creating a new image, you want the image to be 1280 pixels wide, 720 high. It has a default 720. It's just referring to the height. But if you'll notice, this is 1280 wide, 720 high. I'm going to say OK. So it starts you off with my first layer. And I always add this, have my background layer. To make things easier, I always start a new, everything I add, I start a new layer. So now I have my background layer and I have layer 1, and I'm gonna, if you want, you can do anything you want here, but I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know, maybe do some kind of gradient or something here, and then linear design, something like that. Control Z here, and if I don't like what I'm doing, I can always just remove the layer. That's good enough for me, so I don't really care for that, but it's good enough. You can experiment with that. So now I'm going to add some text on it. I'm going to say layer, a new layer, and for this layer, I'm going to add some text. Maybe I'll just put my name, and the fonts you can choose from. I'm not going to have you watch me get too in depth on this. Maybe get larger. And change the color. I like it has this web selection, the common web colors that you can use. Also, click OK, and click OK again. Now I have this, and on this layer I can I can add some of the same effects I did before. Just things are just in a slightly different place here. So, or I can So I was a little bit lost. I was in my Sumo Paint in my mind here, and then as we know, the effects here are down here. So if I selected this layer with my name, and then I go down here, it has the layer styles, and I can do the drop. I was looking for the drop shadow. So bring the distance in. So you can do a lot of the same kinds of techniques, and you have other stuff you can do here, outer bevel, etc. Not really looking that great. You also have your filter, so lots of different things you can experiment with. So just gonna have my name in the top right hand corner. Now let's say I want to add an image to this. A lot of people struggle with adding images because they want to open an image. I'm gonna add my first car here. Well, that's way too big, so I added, and even that's like a 51% down here on the bottom right hand corner. So I'm gonna show it at 100%, just so obviously it's way too big. So I can go image size, and bring that way down. Try that. That's more reasonable, even a little smaller. 280, maybe try 200. Just type it in. Boop. So I have this, and I can save this VW picture file. So I'll take this, and I will save it. VW small, and click OK. VW small, where I'm going to save it. Okay, so, and I just quit on that. So now on layer, I'm going to say open image as layer, and I'm going to do my VW small, and now I can kind of move it over here. So that's kind of how so that's the trick here, to add a picture to your layer. A lot of people were just going file, open an image. You only want to do that if you need to resize it like I just did. So this is my background image. It's 45%, so it's gonna be, that's fine. I'm viewing it as 45%, but it's 1280 by 720. Now I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna call it Eric background. So this is a review, but I'm using Pixlr, which I'm kind of liking more and more over Sumo Paint. And we didn't go over as much Pixlr as we did with Sumo Paint. So there we have it. I'm going to close this window out, leave that page. So what I want to do is I need to upload that picture. So I have my background, and I'm going to do that in my media, upload. I've also made it, we've done this a lot, a name tag, so it's called Eric. I'll upload that as well. That's just uploading. The images are pretty quick. They do that. They get added pretty quickly. So they're done. And now the first thing, the starting point, we're finally into using the color keying, is now I'm going to look at my media for that picture. So it's in alphabetical order. So I started with Eric. So I'm going to go ahead. So here it is, and then here that is. So I could go ahead, I take the background goes on the main. So I always say put everything on the main, the background's going to go on the main. So you add your own background. Now what you need to do is add your own green screen. And for you guys, I put it in the shared folder called green screen. Right here. So I'm just going to pick on somebody here and grab their green screen. Really important that you don't have shadows in the background. And some of the first round of images, videos that we did have shadows in them. So the green screen actually goes on video 1. So then what you want to do is you want your background to match. Now if I want to have 2 backgrounds, I could add a second background over here and have the backgrounds change. But for the purpose of this, we're just going to add that right here. And here we go. So you also need to add I'm going to have you add another title here as well. So somewhere you need to create like your name and introduction, like a title page or something. So in my case, I'm going to add, a student did this on Sumo Paint. So I added another background here, and I might make it smaller. Just needs to be a couple seconds. So I have my 2 pieces here. Now it's just showing the video 1 that's covering. So what I want to do is double click the green screen, video 1 track. I can double click it, or I can click on the pencil to edit it. Either way, double clicking it works. And color key is this icon right here, or color keying. So then what you do is you grab the eyedropper and you click on, notice there's some shadow. That's going to not be too good for our program. So you click on the green, and you might want to click trash and click in different spots of the green to see which gives you the best effect. There's a little ghosting there. So you can click trash, try again. And kind of experiment with some different spots. That's not so good either. But so we're gonna have to work on our lights in there. But another thing you can do is work on the gain. You can adjust the gain. Let's see if I can get some of that good. Okay, good. I got rid of some of that. Actually, that looks pretty good. So I got rid of it bringing the gain down a little bit. I wouldn't mess too much with everything else. So I'm going to click done editing. And there we have it now. The video is, and this obviously is not one he's going to take. This is a practice. But you see that green in the background is a shadow. So the next thing you want to do is you want to add a title or a placard of your name. Of your name that we did in Sumo Paint. You have several examples of that. So what you want to do is go to My Media. You might need to upload it. I believe I already uploaded it though, right at the beginning. and then just go through your media and look for it. Because I named it my first name, it's easy to find. There we have it. Now you're going to drag this on. It adds a video 2 or a new video 1. I'm just going to put that where I want it. Now obviously that's way too big, so what I'm going to do is double click it. I go to the far left, the transform, and I'm going to make it smaller by clicking here on the scale. That's right, and then you just click on the screen and drag it. So if this was me, I just click it here, and then done editing, and then use the arrows here to determine how long you want it on. Usually like 5 seconds is probably good. I'll do 7. And then the last thing you want to do with this is double click it, and you want it to, the animation here, you want it to fade in and fade out. And 1 second is really good usually. And what we had trouble with is if I drag it, make it long, if I make it stay on the screen for a longer duration after I've set the fade in and fade out, I think this is kind of a glitch in the program. It lengthens the fade out time. So what you might have to do is go back to this, make sure you click advance and just reset it to 1 if you change it, its length, its duration after you set fade in and fade out. So there we have it. I have my title, my green screen effect.
4, 3.
The name fades in.
Hello, my name's Carson.
And then what you need now is something like this on the end. So I'll just add, I'll add that as well. And just click add it. It was in my lines for. Yours would most likely be in my media. And then put this at the end. And then the last thing you want to do is add your transitions. They're up here. So these are the standard. There's patterns, and then there's like these effects. So you have the birds, paper airplanes. Oops, and I need to make this go a little longer. It should go all, whoops. I'm going to get rid of that. So my background needs to be the same length as the video. Now I can go ahead and add a transition. Okay. That looks pretty good. And that's basically what you're going to do. And the last step, you want to make, well, it shouldn't be the last step. Title your video. And then you're going to click finish. Click OK here. You're going to click finish. And you want to make sure it's 720, so it's a full high def. And you want to make sure you click on your drive symbol so it's saved in your drive. And then all you do is you click on, here's like a little, you can check your thumbnail. Select the thumbnail. And that's basically it. Just the final thing, you just click finish. Oops. Let's do that again. Okay, I was a little lost because I had this smaller for the purpose of this video. It's the finish video final button is right here. So you're going to click that. And it's going to render. And this is going to be in your drive in the folder called WeVideo. And it's going to be called Eric Green Screen. Now that it's completed, I can go to my Google Drive. Go to WeVideo in my Google Drive. And Eric, it needs to render in Google Drive, but it'll be right here. You want to make sure, double click it. You want to make sure that it is shared. Anybody at San Luis Coastal can view. You don't have the option anymore for anyone on the internet.
3. Hello.
And obviously trim off the 543, but here's kind of the final result. Looks like there's some shadow, some glowing, but that's basically it. And then if you want to grab the link, you can. Get link, and you'll turn that in on Google Classroom, adding the link to it. So that's in a nutshell. Hopefully you were able to maybe fast forward. This is kind of a longer video than I intended, but that's basically everything you need to do for creating a green screen.